mentioned, our first practice is going to be just nice and gentle. We're going to work through some neck tightness, a lot of things in the side, hips, back, all that good stuff. So go ahead and start in a cross-legged seat position. And guys, I want to mention too, my friend Tyler is watching and she's pregnant, so I might be giving her some special cues. So if you hear me saying that, you know why I'm saying that. So to start, Tyler, if you want to slide a pillow or a block underneath your bottom, that will kind of help lift you up, which might make it a little bit more comfortable to sit cross-legged on the floor. Okay, so once you're in that cross-legged seat, nice and comfortable, just go ahead and let your eyes close. Start to focus in on your breath. Taking nice deep inhales and exhales. And allow your breath to just start guiding your thoughts. Bringing your mind into a place of stillness and quiet. And use your breath as a reminder to keep coming back to that space of quiet as we move throughout this flow. Just reminding yourself that the physical practice is only part of what we're here for. That we're also here to find stillness and quiet in our minds, to help release any stress or anxiety that we might be carrying with us, and most importantly, to connect with God through this practice. My sweet friend Lanisa said in her Bible study yesterday that God is nearer to us than our next breath. And I thought that was just the most beautiful concept, especially when paired with yoga. The idea that God is nearer to us than our next breath. And so with every breath, I want that to just be your reminder, is that God is here, He is with you, and He is in this space. So just lean into that and get excited to spend some time with Him here. So the verse that we're going to be focusing on for today is Psalm 118:24, and it says, "Today is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." It is short, it is sweet, but it is so powerful, guys. I hope that today you remember that this is the day the Lord has made, that He knows everything that's going to happen, that He is fully in control, and that He is not going to leave you. He is here with you in this day. And so let us rejoice in that and let us be glad. So today I hope you can just practice gladness through this flow. So go ahead and take one more deep breath here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling as you sigh out through the mouth. And on your next inhale, we're going to go ahead and sweep our fingers up overhead, reaching towards the sky. And then just exhale, hands down through heart center. We're going to take that 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, reach. Exhale. And again, we inhale to reach up and then pause with the fingers towards the sky. And we're going to exhale to bring our left hand down towards the mat, reaching out through the side body. You can stay up on the palm or you can lower to the forearm, but just make sure you're stacking the shoulders on top of one another and really reaching out through that top hand. Keep your breath going here. And then on an exhale, start to round through the chest, sweeping the fingertips across the floor in front of you and taking that stretch over to the other side. Pausing when you get there. Just starting to open through the side body, into the low back. And now we're going to add some movement to that. So we'll exhale and sweep. Inhale to rise up. And then straight away we exhale. Inhale, reach. And just keep flowing side to side, taking it at your own pace. Pausing anywhere that feels good. And just starting to match your breath to your movement. Let's take one more time on either side. And then as you sweep your fingertips in front of you, stop in the center and just those hands out, maybe lowering to the forearms. Forehead can come down towards the floor. We're just going to hold for a few breaths in our first forward fold. Lord, I pray that as we practice today, we would feel you close to us, that we would be aware of your nearness, that we would be excited to spend the day with you, to know that you are walking through it with us, and that we would find joy and gladness in what you have in store for us today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Go ahead and take one last breath here in your forward fold. And then when you're ready, you can either just roll over the shins or swing your legs around as we find our way to tabletop. So spreading the palms, fingers nice and wide, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet pressing down into the floor to activate the legs. Reach out through the crown of the head and start to lift the belly button up, drawing it towards the spine as the ribs knit together. And then on an inhale, we're going to drop the belly, keeping it engaged as we reach forward through the chest, gaze comes up towards the sky. Exhale, chin to chest and round, working to spread the space between the shoulder blades, tucking the tailbone slightly. And again, we inhale, drop the belly, reach forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. Last time we exhale, round, really spread that space between the shoulders. And come back to a nice neutral spine. We're going to move to kickstand on the right. So listen closely, turn your right toes towards the right side of the mat. Shift the weight over into your right hand as the left leg reaches out back behind you. Left fingertips reach overhead. Really stretching out through the side body, pressing the hips forward. And if you'd like, you can open through that top arm, reaching back as you gaze up towards the sky to deepen the stretch through the chest. And exhale as you slowly come back to tabletop, turning the knees back towards the top of the mat. We'll take one time through cat-cow to recenter. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, round. Back to neutral. And then go ahead and turn those left toes towards the side. Right leg reaches out long. Release that arm to reach up and overhead. Big stretch all the way from the toes out through the fingertips of that top arm and leg. Again, maybe you open through the chest, gazing up towards the sky, reaching back through the fingers. And slowly go ahead and come back to center. From here, we're going to tuck the toes and just sit back on the heels. We're going to be sitting here for a moment, so if this hurts your feet, you can also untuck them and just sit back on the heels without the toes tucked. But if it works for you, sit here. This is an awesome stretch into the feet, and our feet carry so much tension, so it's really important to stretch them when we can. So once you're in a nice comfortable seat, go ahead and draw that belly in. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to inhale to reach the fingers up overhead. Keep the ribs in as you exhale to cactus your arms. Bending at the elbows, drawing the elbows back behind you. Shoulder blades come together, but don't release the ribs. Keep it nice and engaged. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Again, inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up. And then this time, drop the hands. We'll interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze the palms together as you reach the knuckles towards the floor. Draw the shoulder blades together and gaze up towards the sky. Big heart opener here, really stretching into the chest and the shoulders. One more breath here. And exhale to gently release the hands. Bring the spine back to a neutral position. Make sure that you're not letting your weight drop in towards your big toes. You want to continue to keep your weight spread between all 10 toes. We're going to take one last stretch here. So let the right hand come up and over, drawing the right ear towards the right shoulder. Then we take the left arm to wrap around behind the back. Really draw that left shoulder and elbow down towards the floor, lengthening through the neck. Big neck stretch here. Breathe deeply into it. And then slowly release back to center. Hands come back down by the sides and we'll switch. So left arm comes up and around to rest on the temple. Draw the left ear towards the left shoulder. Right arm reaches around and behind so that the back of the hand is against the hip or the back. Press that right shoulder down, stretching through the neck. Keep your breath going even here. Nice deep breaths. One more breath. And again, we slowly release it back to center. Plant the hands on the mat. Keep those toes tucked as we press up and back to our downward facing dog. You can also take child's pose here if you prefer. We're just going to take a moment to walk out through the feet, stretching into the hamstrings. Tyler, if you're doing downward facing dog, you might want to just take your feet a little bit wider to give your belly a bit more room. And whenever you're ready, just pause and press those heels down towards the mat, working to find that stretch in the calves and the hamstrings. Breathing deeply into the stretch. Might feel tight since it's first thing in the morning. Inhale to gaze towards the fingertips. And exhale to slowly start walking those feet up towards the top of the mat. Pausing here in a gentle forward fold. Knees can be bent slightly. Really just letting the chest relax over the thighs. Feel the weight dropping out through the crown of the head. You might even feel some stretching and lengthening between the vertebrae as it just releases all that tension down. When you're ready, go ahead and slowly roll up to mountain, taking your time. Reaching out through the crown of the head as we sweep those fingers up, draw the ribs in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center and pause with the hands here. We're going to step the feet to the outside edges of the mat, toes turned out, and we're going to find our way into a yogi squat. So you can choose your depth here. You can either exhale to just kind of take a normal squat depth, or if you'd like, you can work to lower those hips all the way down towards the heels, pressing the elbows into the inside of the knees, working to sit up tall through the torso. Wherever you're at, we're just going to hold for 3 breaths. Breathing into the hips and the low back. If you're in that low squat, work to release any tension in the hips. Let your knees press in towards your arms so that your hips can release. One more breath. From wherever you're at, go ahead and gently fold forward. Walk those feet back together. And then go ahead and find your way down to a seated position. I'm going to turn to face y'all. And we're going to find our way into a half A. So the left leg is going to reach out away from us on a diagonal. Then we'll bend the right knee, bringing the bottom of the foot in towards the inner thigh. Keep your hips squared forward, and then just rotate through the ribs to be pointing over that thigh. From here, we're going to exhale to fold forward. You might start to feel a stretch in the side body of that right side. Just breathe into that. Working to hinge at the hips, bringing the chest down towards the knee. And then if you'd like to add some movement, we're going to go ahead and move into rock star. So that right arm is going to reach up and around from behind to plant on the floor behind your right hip. Shift the weight forward into the right leg up onto the shin as the left fingers reach back and behind. Then from here we exhale, hips come down, Fold forward. Inhale, rise back up to rock star. Press the hips forward, open through the chest. Exhale, fold forward. And one more time, we'll inhale, reach up and back. Press the hips forward to find rock star. Exhale, lower, fold forward. And then come back to a nice neutral spine. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Reach that right leg out, left foot comes in, bottom of the foot to the inside of the thigh. Make sure the hips are pointing forward. Then we sit up tall and rotate through the ribs to point over the thigh. Walk the fingertips out as you fold forward. Pausing here first for a few deep breaths to work into that hamstring stretch. And then if you'd like to add that flow again, we'll inhale, left arm comes up and around to plant, shift the weight forward, and reach to open the chest. Exhale, sit down, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Last time we inhale, reach up and back, open through the chest. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale as you slowly come back to center. Good, we're gonna go ahead and take a forward fold. So reach both heels out in front of you, legs together, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, sweep those fingers up overhead, draw the ribs and the belly in, and exhale, fold forward. Sometimes when people fold forward, there's a tendency to just bring the forehead down towards the knees and see how much space there is between my chest and my thighs. Instead, what you want to do is sit up nice and tall. Imagine you're pinching at the hips, working to bring the ribs down. And then the chin comes into the chest to find a full forward fold. So let's play with that a bit as we inhale to a halfway lift, find a flat back. Exhale, keep that flat back as you hinge at the hips, chin to chest. One more time, inhale, find that flat back. Exhale, fold. And then we'll inhale to go ahead and come all the way back up. Hands come by the sides, let's bend the knees, plant the feet flat on the floor, and exhale to slowly roll down. Keep those feet flat on the floor. We're gonna head into bridge. So you'll want the heels about a hand's distance away from your glutes. That's how you can measure to make sure that your feet are in the right place. And then for this, we're gonna have them about hip distance apart. So from here, go ahead and just slightly tuck the shoulder blades underneath the back so that you're really flattening through the collarbone, opening in the chest. Draw that belly down towards the mat. And then imagine that you're pulling your belly button down towards the mat so much that the hips start to peel up off the floor, pressing the weight down into the feet as we lift up through the hips, coming to bridge. Exhale to slowly roll down, taking your time, gently placing the back and the tailbone back down on the floor. We'll take that 2 more times. Draw the belly in, press the hips up towards the sky. Exhale, roll down. One more time, peeling up from the hips, press towards the sky, and we'll hold here for just a moment, really engaging the glutes and the hamstrings as you work to lift the hips just a little higher. And then exhale to slowly roll down. From here, go ahead and bring the bottoms of the feet together, letting the knees drop out towards the sides. Palms can either rest on the belly, or they can be facing upward on the floor. We're just gonna hold here for a moment, allowing the hips to open and the low back to come into a nice neutral position. Feel free to hold here for as long as you'd like. bring the knees together. Reach the heels out away from you. And just settle into a final relaxation. And before we stop this practice and move on to the next one, I just wanted to say that verse for you again, guys, and just hear these words and make the decision to live from this heart posture today. Joy is a choice, and some days it's easier than others, and it doesn't mean that you have to be the smiliest, perkiest, happiest person all the time, but just living from a posture of, I know that the Lord is in control, and I choose to walk in joy because of that. So guys, today is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I hope that that is something you're able to do today. And thank you so much to everyone who joined me for this first practice. Again, I'm going to pop over and stop this live video, and then we'll jump